Hi, this is Dale Buchanan, the host of Puppy Talk Podcast. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you know of my new book, The Complete Puppy Training Manual. It's available on Amazon in 4 formats: Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. You can find it on Amazon right now. It's called The Complete Puppy Training Manual, and I will put a link in the show notes of this episode. I'm Dale Buchanan, and this is Puppy Talk, the podcast that offers advice on how to raise a healthy, happy, and obedient puppy. This podcast is sponsored by Top Gun Dog Training. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast now so you don't miss a single episode of Puppy Talk. Just the other day, I interviewed Eileen Koval to talk about enrichment for puppies. And it was a great episode. She gave us so much information. And today, I want to give you even more options for enhancing enrichment with your puppy. This information I got from a website called puppyleaks.com, and I'll put their link to their website in the information of this episode. So the first thing you could do is get a snuffle mat. A snuffle mat is basically a rubbery mat with lots of fabric strips tied to it. They're designed to mimic grass, and they're used to give your dog a fun yet challenging way to sniff out food and treats. They encourage your dog to use their natural sniffing and scavenging abilities, and they're a fun way to have your dog work for their food. And the second thing you could do is stuffed Kongs. They're one of the easiest ways to keep your dog mentally stimulated and entertained with minimal effort. It's as simple as filling it up with treats in the evening, letting it freeze overnight, and giving it to your puppy the next day. In fact, some experts recommend that you feed your puppy 1 or 2 meals a day in the stuffed Kong, in the crate, or to keep them stimulated next to you so that they don't cause any problems. It keeps them busy for 30 to 60 minutes. The third thing that we can do is design a do-it-yourself obstacle course. If you've ever watched canine agility trials, you know one thing for sure. Those dogs are getting a great mental and physical workout. Teaching your dog something new, such as jumping over a pole or weaving through an obstacle, is quite a mental workout for them. And the best part is that you can do these activities at home, including building a mini obstacle course in your living room. The next thing that we can do to help enhance the enrichment of our puppies is food dispensing toys. A food dispensing toy is something that you put food inside, and it requires your dog to engage with it to obtain that food. And they have to work their brain and they have to think about it. It's a great way to get the dog mentally stimulated and enriched. The next thing we can do are nose work games. They're great for keeping your dog mentally stimulated, and they help your dog hone in on their natural sniffing abilities. And the best part, the only thing you need to get started are some treats. You just put some treats in your hand, you put them in one hand, and then you hide the hands behind your back and you switch them around and you put them in front of the dog's face, and then you say, which one? If they go to the right hand where the treats are, then you give them the reward. If not, then they have to try again. That's one simple way to do nose work games. Another thing that I've done is I've actually stuffed Kongs with treats. I let the dog sniff them. I hide them somewhere in the yard or in the house, and the dog has to find them. That is nose work. I say, find it, and they have to go around to find the Kong with the treats. That's a great enrichment idea for puppies. The next is flirt poles. A flirt pole, also called a flirt stick, is a long pole with a lure attached by a rope to the end. You hold onto the pole and move it around, in turn making the lure move around and enticing your dog to chase. They provide great physical exercise and they're quite mentally stimulating. Flirt poles let your dog use some of their natural instinct to chase in a non-destructive manner. And they're great for those of us who have a hard time keeping up with our high-energy dogs. The next option is give your dog a place to dig. And Eileen mentioned this in the episode last week. Give your dogs a place to dig in the yard that you have isolated, that they can go and use their natural digging ability. And if your dog likes to dig, it's an easy way for let them do it without worrying about them getting into your flowers and getting into other areas of the yard that you don't want them. But you have to isolate that area in the yard for them to dig, make like a little mini sandbox. These are just a few ideas that you can do for enrichment for your puppy. But the bottom line is, if your puppy is bored, it's going to get destructive. It's going to start barking and chewing and biting people's arms and hands and doing things that you don't want. It's going to develop behavior problems. So you have to get creative and find ways to add enrichment to your puppy's life to fulfill their natural instincts and their needs. If you have any questions about this, please contact us through our website, and I'll be happy to brainstorm some ideas for your particular puppy and your living situation that would work for you. In addition, if you get a chance, please leave a donation. Thank you and have a great day. This is Dale Buchanan, host of Puppy Talk Podcast. I have an announcement of a new book that I just published called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback, soon to be available on audiobook. You can find out all the details of this book using the link in the show notes. It's called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's a comprehensive book with a simple and effective way to help potty train your puppy, and it really works. Check out the link in the show notes.